let's get this party started.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining BPM RIA's webinar today with Kevin Carroll of REA Black Book. He's going to be talking about how to build your dream business. REA Black Book is a software tool that many real estate investors use. Kevin is the director of sales with REA Black Book. He's helped small and medium-sized businesses grow, market, and scale their businesses and implemented systems to help real estate investors succeed and make their lives easier and more streamlined. So we're really happy to have Kevin. He's been with us before. He's great friends with Anish, and we are looking forward to having more and more webinars with Kevin. So thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Alrighty. So we have a couple of upcoming events. Our next one is going to be Wednesday, January 19th at 11 a.m. with REAFacts. That's called 10 types of deals you can find. We're going to have how to find off-market properties and make big profits from that. BPM mentors, Anish will be there. That's going to be Saturday, January 11th. We also have how to navigate and profit through the wholesale process, again by the BPM mentors, January 25th at 11 a.m. And we are going to also be giving a member benefits workshop. If you are thinking about becoming a member, if you have a member and need an update and a refresher of what 2022 has to offer, the things that have changed, and how you can make the most of your member benefits, definitely come to that webinar on January 27th. And
giving away a membership.
We'll be giving away a membership. So if you don't have one and you would like one, then definitely come to that event to get a chance to win. And also, we are giving away our boot camp, our quick start program. It's we called it the boot camp before, we're calling it the quick start now. On the 22nd and 25th, we will be giving away a boot camp seat, so a quick start seat. If you would like to get access to that, then definitely come to those events. And February 2nd, we are having our monthly meeting at 7 p.m. Private lending made easy. So we hope to see you at our upcoming webinars. Our next in-person event will be in April. Okay. And that was a lot of information. We have tons of events at the start of the new year. We're adding more every day. So if you want to get updates to our latest events, you can go ahead and text BPM RIA to 954-800-6961, and we will text you updates about our events. I know some of you guys attending today even got a text message and joined just because you got that this morning. So
yes, I also want to just throw in that this is a new text number. So yes, everyone, we sent out a text blast yesterday. Actually, we'll be sending another one just to clarify. This is a new text number, a new text service. It's for receiving updates on our events. So you're going to have to send this to this new number on the screen. I also put it in the chat, and just put BPM RIA, no spaces. Yes. So you just get those texts to your phone. Super
perfect.
Easy.
Perfect. Yes, you're right. We had an old number. Once we transitioned into 2022 with our new brands, we have since changed that number. You may still be getting, if you've opted into our old text number, you still may be getting events for the next week or so, but you will actually stop getting those event updates from our old number starting most likely next week. So if you don't want to miss out on any event updates, go ahead and opt into our new number. Please and thank you. So speaking of the Quick Start Bootcamp, that's going to be February 5th and 6th. If you're able to make it to those events and if you're lucky enough to be a winner, awesome. If you aren't so lucky, that's still great. You can still come and attend the event. It is going to teach you the A to Z of wholesaling in South Florida. We teach you how to set up your business from the very basics in terms of naming your business, registering it. We have Jose Ramirez, Chief tax advisor of Advanced Tax Advisors there who helps you set it up, title experts, contracting experts, and real estate software experts that help you from the beginning to the end of your wholesaling journey if you would like to start one. So Alexa just put up a poll. If you'd like to attend our Quick Start 2-day intensive on January 5th and 6th, go ahead and let us know. We'll be getting more information out to you. And she also put the link in the chat if you'd like to learn more and register. And if you are a member, you actually get a discount on the Quick Start program. You get deals and discounts to our national RIA benefits package, which includes places like Home Depot, Office Depot, Avis Budget Rental Car, so many other real estate investing softwares. You also get access to our regular meetings and special events and programs such as our Quick Start and other programs you will also get at a discounted rate. If you have a small business or a business that is real estate investor friendly and you'd like to become a corporate member to have webinars like these and to talk about you and yourself and provide education, network and such, we also have a corporate membership. Alrighty, so we have a mentor program. You are going to be able to have one-on-one support for 6 or 12 months. If you would like to learn more about that, you can go ahead and call that number, not right now because it'll go to election. She's here, but you can write it down and give her a call later. The best way to schedule a call is to go right here. It'll say book a call and go to bpmria.com. You're going to see green buttons everywhere on that page that says book a discovery call, and you can book a 15-minute call with Alexa and she'll tell you more about the mentor program. And then you can even book a 1-hour free consultation with a niche or lead mentor to learn more about mentoring, to see if it's the right fit for you now, later in the future, and to learn more about what we can offer for you as mentors. So Alexa, do you have anything else to add?
Well, I just went ahead and put my email in the chat. Please give me a call. Please leave me a voicemail so I can get back to you on what you need. And also, if you'd like to send me an email, if that's easier for you, go ahead and do that. I have numerous people that I still need to get back to today, so don't worry. Bear with me. I'll get back to you today. All right.
Yeah. Very busy. People are definitely excited. Is that for Florida residents? Yes, our mentor program, we focus on the South Florida area, but still give us a call and we can talk to you about it. We are expanding the mentor program in 2022 and we are excited and we may be able to make something work. So still give us a call to learn a little bit more about that. Yeah. I just want to do a couple of housekeeping before we turn it over to Kevin. Just remember that Q&A is awesome. Kevin is great. He's so interactive. I'm very much looking forward to it. However, if you have questions, they might get lost in the chat box. So if you look on the Zoom screen, you'll see a button that says Q&A. Go ahead and enter your questions in the Q&A box. Kevin will be stopping periodically to answer your questions as we go along. So in order for them not to get lost in the chat, Q&A box is awesome. Without further ado, Kevin, are you ready?
Yay.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
So excited.
Awesome. I'll go ahead and share my screen if you don't mind, just to make sure that I'm sharing the correct one again. All right. We good?
Yep, looks excellent.
All right, perfect. Hey, thank you very much. I'm excited to be in front of BPM RIA after the new branding. This is exciting. So I see I'm nosy, so I went through the chat and I do see a bunch of familiar names. So that's always exciting as well. But hey, happy 2022 at this point. It's kind of crazy that we're there already. But what I want to talk about today is how to build your dream business, conquer all the chaos, and ultimately live your life by design, right? Us as entrepreneurs, as investors, we don't hop into real estate because we love chaos, because we want to work 200 hours a week and all the struggles that a lot of us have to deal with. But there are some certain strategies, tactics, and basically processes that we can go through as entrepreneurs, as business owners, to where we can design not just our personal life, but our business as well, to have a vision that meets both requirements, right? And how we define success. So I'll dig in that and kind of go through. Quick background for those of you who have never seen me before. My name is Kevin. I have been working with business owners for about the last 13 or 14 years. Big companies, medium-sized companies, brand new startups, and ultimately how sales and marketing, what type of systems and processes can we implement to automate, drive out any snags in our sales systems and so on. Ultimately, how can we do more deals and spend less time doing it and simplify the process? But I left the corporate world a few years ago to really focus on real estate. Those of you who work for large companies can probably understand that's usually not a good fit for a lot of us, especially on this call, for trying to start our own business or have our own business. But it didn't work for me. My personal vision, working at a big company and traveling all the time, it didn't fill my bucket. So I left, and now I'm able to make a bigger impact on people every day, whether it's new entrepreneurs, they've been around for a while and just trying to conquer that chaos. And I actually get to see an impact versus just being a number on a chart at some huge company here. So, all right, those of you who don't know about REI Black Book, just to give you a real quick rundown of what we do. We're a software company, been around for about 13 years now, but everything, our bread and butter is our CRM, our contact management system. And what we do is we try to get all of the tools and platforms that investors will need to run their businesses effectively and put them in one spot to make it easy, simple, cheaper. And when you need help, you have one person to call. So everything from CRMs, websites, phone systems, automated follow-up campaigns and text platforms and email autoresponders. How do we manage our deals and our property pipelines, and then market our properties for disposition on the backside? So pretty much start to finish, we've got a platform that kind of does a little bit of everything all in one place. All right. So again, one platform, one subscription, one support team, which is important. And the idea is avoid the chaos and pain. All right. So just to give you an idea, why REI Black Book, why have we been around for so long, and why are we in the spot we're in today? Well, Drew and Risha is a long time customer of ours. They're actually part of our mastermind group, but they love that they can basically the flexibility to build any automation they want, and the people behind the business. But it's not just here's a software tool, here's a program, good luck. You've got to have people, you've got to have support, and you've got to have a community to help get you to where you're looking to go. Lars, here's a must-have resource, a system to run the real estate business. Everything you need is there. He's used it for several years and still finds new things that he can use. And then William here, this is a new, he's only been around for about a year with us, but he loves how intricate and complex it can be if you choose to use all of it. He loves the step-by-step instructions, and he loves that it follows up for him, and that's his weakness. All right, and this is the last one. This is my favorite testimonial ever, but we had Sophie had asked a question in our group. Why do you have to have REI Black Book if you have Podio fully set up? And one of our longtime members actually piped in and answered it on our behalf, but they had Podio fully set up to do almost everything that REI Black Book can do. It costs more to pay the monthly subscriptions of just the external websites, and then you have to integrate it. Long story short, it was harder, more expensive, less effective, and more time consuming to have the other guys. So that is what we're looking to do as a company, to empower real estate investors and entrepreneurs to streamline their process and really focus on living the life that they want to live. All right. I want to give a little bit of background about Damon. Damon's our CEO and founder. He and Anish are very, very good friends and work together closely. But Damon is, again, he's our visionary, if you will. So he's been he's ran REI Black Book, like I said, for about coming up on 13 years now. He's a software guy, but we realized that just providing software and tools a lot of times wasn't enough to truly make an impact on investors' lives. Some of us have never ran businesses before, and there's a lot more that goes into owning a business and the mindset that's required for that versus working in a business and just trying to make money. And that's where frankly, a lot of newer investors and some experienced ones, they fall into that trap. And I've got some stuff to kind of share with you here. But Damon started consulting with investors and business owners to build real business systems, not just try to make a paycheck every month. And out of this came our vision and business building framework. And that's what I'm going to share today, is what that framework looks like to truly design not just your business, but your personal life and how those plans come together and fill the gap. But all right, so we've been doing this for about 7 or 8 years now. And Damon's actually was the head vision building mentor. And some of you may have seen this guy before. Does anybody know who this guy is? For those of you who don't, he wrote a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. His name's Robert Kiyosaki, but Robert had a very large coaching and education program for a long time, called Elite Legacy. Well, they teach how to wholesale and all those different things there. But we were the software of choice for Robert's students for about the last 8 or 9 years. So each of Robert's students automatically got REI Black Book as part of their program. But once we started and we went through our own journey as far as the vision building aspects of running a business, we actually took over this education part for Robert's students. So we've went through for the last 7 years and actually taught each one of their members how to be a business owner, how to set their vision properly, and how do we design that business to meet your personal plan. All right. So again, we did this. We called it a vision building workshop. We sold this. This was a $6,000 course that was offered through them. And so, when I say this is near and dear to our heart, we have tons of experience and we've seen from over 40,000 investors over the last decade why this is important and where most of us go wrong. So, all right. Most of us, when we get into business, and actually I'll tell a quick story here. So Robert, if anybody's heard him speak in the past, he has a common question that was always he'd ask the audience when he got up there, who here wants to be a millionaire? And of course, we're all entrepreneurs. Everybody in the audience raises their hand. Yes, I want to be a millionaire. Well, the reality was they weren't really answering that question. Like what most people were looking at is, do you want $1 million? And there's a big difference between wanting $1 million and wanting to be a millionaire, right? It's great to have the money in the bank, but there's a lot more that goes into being an entrepreneur and quote unquote becoming a millionaire versus just having the money. So money isn't the only thing, but I will say it's right up there close with oxygen, right? So we have to have money for everything we do here, but it doesn't, like, our entire personal lives and business doesn't revolve around money. There's a lot of stuff that goes around. If you do the right thing, the money comes, and I want to talk through that. So, all right, every story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. But as we go through life, as we go through our journey as business owners, we don't always start at the beginning. There's not a path that just says, okay, well, first you do this and walk all the way through. There's some help. A lot of us realize this and have to make changes at different points of our story, but I'm going to dig through. So some of you may be able to relate to this picture here. I was this person, just so you know, before I left my corporate job, this was me. Couldn't go out to dinner with my wife. I couldn't go to my kids' sports games. I was always at my phone of, am I going to miss a deal? Am I going to miss a lead? I need to respond right away. Realistically, it was chaos. I was on call 24 hours a day, no matter what. And I put all of my personal wishes and requirements to the side and always focused on the business and the professional side of things. Kids are around hanging on and I'm locked on my phone or on my computer. Some of us on this call can probably relate to this if I had to guess, especially if you've been doing this for more than a week or two. So I put that in as a joke, but we've been there. So speaking specifically to Damon, and this is what kind of led us to kind of take a leading role on this vision, systems, and people framework for entrepreneurs. But Damon hated his business. So 5 or 6 years into running REI Black Book, again, he had millions of dollars. I called him the miserable millionaire. I don't know if you've ever heard that before, but Damon was truly a miserable millionaire. Had a software company, was financially doing very, very well. We had a bunch of employees here and pool tables, and it was just a really fun work environment. So on the surface, like, life was great, but in reality, he's didn't have the right people on the team. We didn't have any vision in place. The only thing that we knew is, hey, we just want to make a lot of money, and we'll go from there. But there was no design. There was no actual structure and plan as to what our personal lives need to look like. How does that jive with our business life? But he woke up and just basically didn't want to go to work, hated his job, and realized that he had just created basically something that he has to do each and every day. His life is not controlled by him. There was no vision. The team was all over the place. And at that point, he met with a mentor and learned something that changed all of our lives. And that's the framework that I'm here to talk about today. So it's basically the vision, systems, and people that is required to truly live your personal life as well as your business life. And how do we attract the right people to go along that journey with us? What systems are needed in order to get there? And ultimately, the idea, we want to love our business, we want to love our lives, and our mission is to empower other entrepreneurs and business owners to have the same situation, to love their life each and every day, not work 150 hours a week. All right, so this here is actually a picture. This is a group of longtime REI Black Book members that we actually coach on vision building. So part of our business vision as well as our personal vision is giving back. We want to volunteer, and when I say that, it's not just writing a check. So us as a group, we all got together and went down to Texas. This was last year, but rebuilt a playground in a rough part of Dallas. Tons of work. It was super hot and humid. But at the end of the day, we all came together, and this is our way of giving back and empowering other people. And so this is part of our design as a company here. But again, we have a life and business designed to empower others. And that's what I want to talk about today. And most importantly, our kids. So here's a framework that I want to dig into. And there's 3 big aspects. The first one is vision. I'm sure Anish has talked about having a vision in your business. Super important. And this is probably the biggest mistake that most business owners and real estate investors specifically fail at, is we don't have a vision in place as we start our companies. What systems are needed, and then ultimately the people. And just to give you an idea here, so you can kind of look and kind of see where these overlap. But if we have vision and people, but we don't have any systems to operate, no processes, well, we've got chaos. That's what that means. All right. If we have people and systems, but we lack vision, well, there's no direction, and our team's going to be frustrated. And then ultimately, if we have vision and systems, but no people, well, now you've got a job, everything depends on you, and life is not going to be easy no matter how much money's coming through the front door here. All of this intertwines together, and I want to talk about this structure. All right, what we want is that little delta in between there. What's that spot where all 3 of these come together perfectly? That is how we design our business to serve what we want to do with our lives. All right, let's go through this. So our strength is right here. So here's some feedback. This is to Damon, but your ability to inspire others with your vision and belief in your mission sets you apart. You're a straight shooter, call it like it is. There's a way of cutting through the BS. Damon has a weird little knack as far as understanding, because he's personally went through the journey, but what are those personal roadblocks? What are all these snags that we probably have our blinders on because we're so focused on our daily activities? But to be able to step back and truly put a plan together, but count on for advice without judgment. Help me and improve. You're always sharing good resources. And Ron down here, I think your gift is that you are a 3-dimensional visionary. What I mean by that is that you see solutions and tools from multiple perspectives at once. Most people think through the problems like you do. You have helped me see around corners and solve problems that I didn't even know I had in my business. And that's a common theme that you'll see as you're working with a mentor and looking at vision and how important that is for a vision-based business. But all right, most people, when we get into real estate, is everybody wants to be able to just copy vision. If any of us have worked at a large company like I have, we have vision statements and mission statements that everybody wants to put on websites, and they hang posters on their wall and all these things. Well, more times than not, they're kind of seen as just a marketing slogan, right? Well, once you can actually take away the marketing aspect and say, this is truly our vision and is part of our culture. Well, it doesn't need to go on our website. There's no posters on the wall. It's who we are as people. But you can't copy vision. You can't outsource strategic thinking. This is stuff that your personal plan and your business plan is going to be unique to you. Now, you can copy different aspects. You can copy tactics. You can copy certain tools and processes and things, how they need to work. But the actual vision and overall plan of what you want individually, that has to come from you. And it truly has to be critically put on paper and strategically planned out in order to go through. But all right, again, I get asked all the time, everyone, can I copy success? Hey, Anish is doing this number of deals. He's got all these systems and that's the business I want. I just want to do exactly what he's doing. Well, the answer is you can copy parts of it, but at the end of the day, your personal vision and your business it's got to be you. And there's a way to go through and basically get to that. So, all right. So the systems, those are the what and the how, right? So if a lead comes in, this is my system to capture my leads. And this is my system for when the phone rings, all those are like tactical things. It's the what and the hows, the strategy, the tactics, processes, tools. All that is the stuff that you can copy over. You can press a couple buttons and you can implement that into your business relatively quickly and easily. And these are tried and true things. Thousands of investors have used this for their websites or for this tracking, marketing, etc. Those kind of things are easy. And I'll actually give you guys an easy button later to download all the systems and tools and press a couple buttons and solve that part of it here. So stay tuned, but we'll give you a head start. Like I said, the number one mistake that entrepreneurs make, and this isn't just investors, but the number one mistake entrepreneurs is that building a business without a vision. Again, personal and business vision. All right, so what is vision, right? We've all heard it. It means different things with different people, but let's dig into this. All right, so your vision is made up of three parts. First is the mission. What mission? What is it that drives you? What's your why? Getting really clear on that. And just so you know, it's not money. Like it's not, hey, my mission is I just want to be rich. There's more to it. Why do you want to be rich? All right. I want vacations. Well, why do you want to go on vacations? I love to travel. And all these different things, there's a process to peel back all those layers. But what's your mission? What are the values, right? At REI Black Book, we have 5 core values. It's open and honest communication and people before profits and so on and so forth. But those values are true to everything that we do in our personal lives as well as our business and our team, our employees, our partners, everything else. Like they need to have similar values. There's got to be an alignment there in order for our mission to ever come true. And our purpose, right? So our purpose is to empower people and businesses to live the life that they want to live, right? What's their definition of freedom? So mission, values, purpose, that is what makes up vision. And there's a very, non-negotiable way to go about this if you truly want your freedom. Stage 1, define the vision. And this is where a lot of people struggle. It's like, all right, well, I don't know what I want. And this, I just want to make a lot of money and I want to be able to make sure my kids go to a college, whatever. But dream without a filter. This is not the time to think, well, I only have this number of hours in a day, or I'm not good at this. Like, take off everything else and truly, what is your dream? Why are you doing this? And how can we do this on a personal level? Stage 2, you got to know who you are, right? We're really big into personality tests and indicators of like who we are. We all have our unique genius zones, if you will. I like to be around people. I'm super social. I'm not a detail guy. And if I were a bookkeeper, I would hate the world. So chances are like bookkeeping is not something that should be on my plate. If I'm a brand new investor and just starting out, I'm probably doing every aspect of my business. But as I grow and I'm setting my vision and my plan, well, I need to get myself out of that bookkeeper role as quickly as possible. And what do I need to do in order to get there? Where I am today and to bridge that gap. So that personal plan, if you're brand new entrepreneur, your plan is going to be different than somebody who has been doing this for 5 or 6 years full time and has a business. There's going to be some different adjustments in what's that personal plan. All right. So again, when we're setting vision, we have to get really vulnerable, add all of our roadblocks that will get in the way to achieving the results that we want. And to kind of look at it and peel it back, it's like, all right, in 5 years, where do I want to be? 5 years is a long way down the road. It'd be here before you know it, but where do I want to be in 5 years? In 3 years, where do I need to be? So based on where I want to be in 5 years, in 3 years, I need to be here. All right. In order to be there in 3 years, in 1 year, I must be here. And in order to do that in 90 days, these are the things that have to get done. So there's a very specific process that we teach. It's okay, here's my vision. Here's the end goal that I'm looking to achieve. And now we're going to break this down into the want, need, must, and what do I have to do right now? All right. So what do you dream about, right? Everybody's got their own dream. I'm a traveler. So part of my personal vision is I want to take multiple backpacking trips a year. I like to ski. So I need about 2 months out of the year where I'm not in an office. I'm not working. That personal time is more important to me than making an extra $100,000 a year, doing extra deals. Like that's what's driving me is I want to travel and I want my kids to experience that same thing. We're all different, right? So why are you here today? What is your vision? It's not to work a bunch of hours. It's not just to have money in the bank. There's a much deeper reason why you're spending your time talking about this. All right. I've got a funny little exercise that I want to kind of go through here, but what stopped your dreams? As we talk to people, it gets very frustrating for us. And some of you probably have these roadblocks in your head today, but you'll see this like, what is up with these bananas and monkey and a ladder? What is this thing? So we have heard forever. Some of us have probably had conversations with family members, friends, people who we respect as peers, but hey, I'm an entrepreneur. I want to build a business doing this and this and this. And, most people who don't dream big or have vision, their first thoughts are, nope, that's not going to be possible. You're not going to be able to do this. And they already start listing all the reasons basically why you can't achieve that or why you can't do this and reasons why that success is not going to find you. So there was actually there was a psychologist that did a study using monkeys, and this was a while back, but there was 3 monkeys in a room and they hung bananas up above and there was a ladder up there. So the first monkey went up the ladder, and as he goes up, the researchers shot this monkey with a water hose, ice cold water. Monkey jumps down, left the bananas, right? He stepped over to the side. Well, the second monkey was like, well, I'm going to go give it a run. So he jumps up this ladder, gets shot with water, etc. Well, so what they did is after the 3 of them were in there, they removed 2 of those monkeys and put 2 new monkeys in. Well, at that time, one of the new monkeys runs up the ladder. The other one had already been shot with water, so they stay out. But the second one runs up, gets shot with water. The third one doesn't go up. So at this point, they remove those other monkeys out and start fresh. And anyway, they communicate, they learn by leaving that one monkey in the room. They've realized that one monkey is stopping the other 2 from climbing that ladder because, hey, you're going to get shot with water. It's not going to have a good feeling there. So where I'm going with all of this is we all have those influences in our life of people telling us, don't climb that ladder, don't climb that ladder. Well, we want to make our own decisions and get up there. Yeah, water's cold. It hurts for a second, but we can still grab those bananas and get our treat here. We don't want to let other monkeys that haven't done it themselves tell us what to do. So I like weird stories like this. Bear with me on that. I apologize, but at the end of the day, you've got to have the power to say, I decide, I choose for myself. And this word is super duper powerful. When you look at the word decide, this is super powerful. Just give you an idea, because most people are like, oh, I can make decisions. I can make decisions. But what goes into actually making a decision? That word decide. So it's basically means cut off. So if you look at the true root of that word, it's cut off. So that means you're cutting off everything else that except the things that absolutely matter the most. Where we're ultimately at, what's our purpose? You know, if we decide that we're going to do something, well, that means we cut everything else out and we are focusing on that. If I decide to be an entrepreneur, all right, we're going to be an entrepreneur. Like I'm going to cut off everything else that does not help get me to my vision, to my plan. All right, some similar words to that, right? So just to kind of put this in context, homicide, right? Decide. If you break those apart, homicide, all right? That's ending. Pesticide, that's killing. Genocide, I don't even want to go down that path. Suicide, all these things. It's the cut off or to kill. So in order to truly decide what we're doing with our businesses, we have to make a decision, and that's killing our other options, right? So if it doesn't go with what our plan is, what our vision is, we have to decide to move forward and focus our efforts. You will experience loss. It's painful. It will, affect relationships, other things in your life, but most people don't want to experience loss or go through pain. So we just avoid those decisions and push it off and hope that it works out down the road. But not making a decision is making a decision, right? So again, if you don't do anything, you're going to stay where you're at. You're going to keep doing the same chaos. You're going to keep going down the same path. That's not going to get you to where you got to go. All right. So successful people versus unsuccessful people. Successful people make quick decisions and rarely go back on them, right? So when you hear about those people, man, they have no problem jumping in there saying, this is where we're going, and they take off and go. Unsuccessful people, they typically make slower decisions. They want to, they hum and haw on it. They get other input, often go back on them. So they're not really deciding anything. They sit there and delay and delay and delay. So again, words have power. I just want to make sure that, from a psychological standpoint with vision and everything else, you have to get vulnerable. There's a lot that goes into changing the way we think as entrepreneurs. All right. I'm a big quote guy, but if we understand the power of our thoughts, we would guard them more closely. If we understand the awesome power of our words, we would prefer silence to almost anything negative. In our thoughts and words, we create our own weaknesses and our own strengths. So, just think about that and digest a little bit here, but our thoughts are so powerful. Our words are so powerful, and what we decide will typically create our own weaknesses and strengths. And that's so true. All right. One of the things I'm trying to get to here is your income follows your personal growth. As we're looking at vision and how we truly want to operate and where do we want to be in 5 years from now, a lot of that is personal growth. Like I said, you can't just copy success. You can't just copy someone's business over to yours. There's parts of it you can, but ultimately, like your personal growth from a mindset standpoint and the people, your mission, values, purpose, that is personal growth. And your income will follow personal growth at each and every time. So we're living proof. And I know Anish is a big investor into his own personal growth and development, is part of masterminds and has mentors and all that good stuff. So we spend, at Black Book, we spend over $100,000 a year just on personal development and business consultants and everything. So it's like, that's a lot of money, but that 100,000 is a 10x return for us year after year, not just for us, but the personal development, personal growth of everyone on our team. And where's their personal vision? How does that relate to our business vision? And make sure that everybody has the same mindset and the same opportunities. All right. So there is a process to go through with setting your vision. And typically we start with like a 12-month plan. It's all right. So the really tactical part, where do I need to be in 12 months? How much revenue do I need to generate? How many deals will I need to close to get to that revenue? All right. How much do I have to allocate on my marketing costs? Does that support my goals? Is that even possible based on my budget to do the deals and revenue? How many vacations do I want to take? Is that factored into my plan? Am I still going to have a full-time W-2 job? Who do I hire first, right? As I'm growing and scaling and trying to get myself out of the chaos, who do I hire first? So what does that need to look like? What position do I fill over those next 12 months? And ultimately, what is your unique genius zone? We all have things that we love to do. I always joke around, there's people who get into investing and they're solopreneurs. They don't have other people on their team yet. And they're terrified and they hate talking to sellers. Absolutely hate it. Like they're much more, they're introverts. They don't want to be around people. They don't want to like talk to people and try to convince them, so on and so forth. It's like, all right, well, if you hate that and that's not your genius zone, like you should probably look at hiring a lead manager and acquisitions person first. But if you love sales and hate the details and everything else, well, you need to maybe hire a bookkeeper or an admin person, right? So understanding who you are, what's your zone and what lane to stay in is absolutely critical. All right. Actually, Andy and Sarah, these guys are also friends with Anish here. I just realized that, but they sat in our office back in 2019, setting vision, goals, what the plan is, and really trying to dig into what they wanted to, where they wanted to be in 3-5 years, where they need to be in a year, et cetera, and really putting pen to paper on that plan. The plan at that time was $10,000 a month. And that was to be that was basically like their pipe dream. It's like, if we ever got to $10,000 a month, that was great. Andy would then be able to quit his full-time W-2, highly paid, highly compensated IT person. But if he got to 10 grand a month in passive income, that would get him out of his full-time job. And that was what their ultimate goal was. The issue was Sarah ended up losing her job a few months after the vision building day. So we put together the plan and that plan got thrown upside down. Sarah was actually one of those weird people that loved her full-time W-2 job. Those people do exist, trust me. But anyway, obviously their plan had to be adjusted right away. So we sat down and went through it again. And what we did was, all right, so now Sarah doesn't like talking to sellers. So the plan to hire somebody to take care of the admin stuff changed because now Sarah was the admin person. And, so we literally changed that custom plan for them and went through. So her full-time gig was about 70 grand a year. So now that she's going to work full-time in the business, that since she lost her position, we went through and say, okay, well, here we go. So we adjusted the plan. You go through and say, okay, so the third quarter after she lost her position, they went through lease option deals, 2 retail deals. They had a rehab, so on. But the third quarter results for Sarah after she lost was 84,000. Her full-time job, like I said before, was 72. So in that one quarter after adjusting their plan, they were able to bring in $84,000 of actual income in that one quarter. It didn't stop there though. I mean, that's really awesome, really cool. But if then looking at the fourth quarter of that same year, these are the extra deals that they got. So a wholesale deal, BSOW, that's Bandit Signs on Wheels, did a lease option and had some other stuff as well. But third quarter results was 84,000. You add that up with the fourth quarter, look at that. It was $161,500 that she had made by being a part of the business in a matter of 6 months. So more than doubled what she had made full-time in her old W-2 job. But that BHAG, right? That's that big, hairy, audacious goal. That was a $10,000 a month that Andy was hoping to achieve in order for him to get out of his full-time job. So again, her plan was to stay working. They just needed to replace, when she lost her job, they were looking to replace her $72,000. So the assignment fees and the transactional revenue that they occurred more than doubled that for her. But they were also able to pick up additional cash flowing properties. And if you fast forward a year later, they're actually above their 10,000. They're at 11,270. Andy has now gotten out of his full-time job. Sarah, they're working together. We've readjusted the plan and they're actually taking their vacations. They have a young daughter and starting to live the vision that they've put in place. Jason Mead, similar story here. I'll kind of move on a little bit quicker as we start going through here, but ultimately, he was a 20 plus year TV salesperson. He sold TV ads for a TV for a network, but lost his job with COVID. Again, we had went through a vision setting plan and ultimately had to real quickly adjust and change what his personal plan was now that he was full-time in the business and his life had changed. So anyway, he sent this message to Damon a while back, but anyway, he wanted to shoot a quick text. Basically, I would not be living my dream as an entrepreneur right now. A couple of days ago, I closed my biggest deal ever. I've never felt more fulfilled as a businessman. I've never been happier. Looking forward to what the future holds. He closed 2 deals in one day, which has never happened, but I closed on that flip I mentioned in my hot seat and walked away with a check for $72,000. Later that day, closed on a wholesale deal and for 500. So anyway, 77 in one day. Wasn't quite enough to replace what he had before, but that was just one day. He is full-time. Actually, we just got an update from him. He's on track to do that over 400 just this year. So about 4 times what he was doing in his full-time W-2 job. But all right. So again, the vision is super important. How do we get it out of our head, dream unfiltered, and then how do we engineer our personal plan along with our business plan, put our goals in place and what that needs to look like, if we need to adjust it, so on. But the next part that I'm going to focus on is the people, right? So no matter what our vision is, we can hit that in place, but we're going to have people to help us get there. Even if we're just starting out and we're a solopreneur getting through here, again, knowing where we're good and our unique genius zone is going to gauge, all right, who's our JV partners? Who do we want to work with? When it comes time for that first hire, what's the process look like? How do I know what seat to fill first? How do I know that person's the right fit for the seat? And there is a complete system to go through how the people, right? So the right people in the right seats. Here we go. So define the seats on the bus. Some of you have, I don't know, heard of an accountability chart, but this isn't just like a normal organization chart that we've probably seen or heard of in other fashions. But these are the actual roles that we have to do. You know, so who sends out my postcards? Who answers my phones? Who does my books? Who follows up on my leads? All those different, basically, tasks that are done on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. What are the seats? So, you know, define them, and we've got some help on what that accountability chart typically looks like for an investor. We want to know what's the right behavior, what's the right person for each one of those roles. All right. Once they're there, what's the KPIs? Even if we're a solopreneur and I'm handling all the marketing and lead follow-up, what are the metrics that I need to hold myself accountable to for that particular role? So what are the metrics and the scorecard in order to get there? All right, this is a snapshot into me. So this is my personality profile up top. We use Predictive Index. If anybody wants to know more about that, by the way, just put a note in the chat. I can get some more info on the PI index. But we've implemented this a couple of years ago in our business. I know Anish has went through this process as well. But I'm what they call a promoter, meaning it says up top, I'm casual, uninhibited, and I'm persuasive extrovert with a tendency for informality. What that means is I hate details. I hate rules. I'm a people person. I like to talk and be around others. I like to work in team environments, and I'm casual, right? I'm not super formal or anything like that. So down below here on the bottom half of the page, you'll see, you know, these are basically different seats that we have from an accountability chart, managing the CRMs and setting appointments, getting seller testimonials and following up and all that kind of stuff. You know, I'm pretty good with that kind of stuff. But if I look at the right side and bookkeeping, P&L and taxes, like there is no way I'm going to sit there and be detailed oriented enough and enjoy it enough to like truly do a bookkeeping job well. So first of all, I would never apply for that job. But if I'm a solo operator and trying to do everything myself, you know, office management and payroll and, you know, updating and spreadsheets, and like, there's no way. So knowing who you are and basically what people we need to implement first, which ones can we outsource or hire, and what that accountability chart even looks like can go a long way with getting to our ultimate vision by having the right people in the right seats here. All right, so just an example on like the KPI aspects. So, COO and integrators, they're going to look for revenue and tracking pipelines, managing employee metrics, et cetera. Lead managers, how many calls do they make? How many appointments were set? Contracts were accepted, and so on. My acquisitions people, accepted contracts, how much revenue was generated, all these different things. But these are just example KPIs based on different seats that we would have inside of our businesses here. All right. And what we do is you want to roll all those metrics, all those performance metrics into a company scorecard. So even, if you're brand new or if you've been here for a while, a company scorecard is absolutely critical, because this is not only going to make sure that if I need 3 deals a month in order to get to my 12-year goal, in order to fulfill my vision that I have, if I need to get 3 deals a month, well, that's going to be this number of leads. And this basically manages to make sure that all of the metrics, the marketing, the funnels, all of those metrics are going to ultimately end in the number of deals and the revenue and everything else that I need to get to in those next 90 days or 12 months, et cetera. So company scorecards are huge. Good news is I'm going to give you some examples of the scorecards and the accountability charts and all the stuff to really look at this and start looking at this as a business owner and get out of the mindset of working in the business. All right. A quick story about Drew and Risha here. We've been coaching them on vision for quite a while, but they attended a presentation of this originally. This is 5 or 6 years ago. This is quite a while. They just had a monster month. Decided to start hiring extra people. They had a bunch of money at this point and was like, hey, I'm taking myself out. I'm going to hire people to do some of the things that I don't enjoy doing and to really enable additional growth and keep us in our genius zones. Well, they had no scorecard, didn't put a scorecard in place. So they hired a new acquisitions person in October and closed deals in November and December. I was like, hey, this person's working out really well. But January rolls around and now they went 3 months in a row with absolutely no deals, and was like, oh boy, all right, well, our deal flow fell through. We're burning through the money now. We've got to have deals coming through. So they actually got with Damon and kind of consulted with him and to try to figure out where the problem was. Well, it was easy to diagnose because they didn't have a scorecard in place. So that was the root issue. But at the end of the day, we realized that lead person was pretty good, but they didn't really know how many calls they were supposed to make. I mean, they were just kind of running blindly through their daily activities. There were no metrics. The seat wasn't clearly defined. And it sounds simple, but most of us struggle with this because we've never been there before. As our company grows and we take on new things, maybe new seats get added or we change directions and do we have the right people on the bus? Are they sitting in the right seats? And is the bus going in the right direction? All right. So again, real high level on the people aspect of things, but we've talked about vision briefly, talked about people real quickly, and now the systems. And frankly, like REI Black Book, we've really focused on the systems part of things for the majority of our time here. So over the last 12 years, we provide tools and software to business owners and real estate investors. So we've always really like, hey, we're going to educate people and you're going to learn exactly how to run our phone system. And hey, you should check out our websites. Our websites are cool. But at the end of the day, most investors weren't looking at this from a vision standpoint. They weren't focusing on the people. It was just trying to get money. So we've expanded out of there. And that's why I'm talking about the framework today. But the systems are the things that we've basically accomplished a long time ago. And the good news is these are the things that we can copy and put in place into your business by the end of the week this week, right? So we can plug some holes and everything else, but long-term, the vision, systems, people, it all has to come together here. But some of you may have heard of Warren Buffett. He's kind of a rich guy. But if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Pretty simple, right? If you don't have systems in place to make money while you sleep, you're going to work till you die. And none of us want to do that. Michael Gerber. So he wrote the book E-Myth. Love this guy. Awesome author. If you haven't read E-Myth, you probably should. It's a really, really good book. But I love this quote. Organize around business functions, and not people. So we create an accountability chart with all those roles that we have to basically have in place in our business. Even if we're a solopreneur, these are the basically the seats that have to be filled, and maybe my name's in every one of those seats, right? If we're by ourselves, that's going to be the case. But as we grow and as we hire people and introduce or outsource different things, those seats should basically, you just plug somebody into a proven system and process, and that's how you grow and scale. But you build systems within each business function. You let the systems run the business, and people then run the systems. So here's the task. Here's my system in order to achieve that task and to complete that task. And then I can just plug a person in there, because that system is going to happen each and every time. That person is just going to manage the system associated with it. So again, people come and go, but the systems remain constant. That's the takeaway here, because if we don't have that type of structure in place, when somebody leaves a business, well, now we've got to start fresh and train and everything. But if that system and process is clearly identified and in place, we should be able to plug people in and just manage the systems and let that take care of itself here. So, all right, as we're looking at systems and what it takes, right? So what's the strategy? What's the tactics? What's the processes for each? And then what tools are needed to do there? So if we can identify the strategy, so, for example, we talk about following up with leads. If I know that I need to automate and follow up with our leads as much as possible, well, hey, I need to talk to them, 4 times a month, for example, until they're ready. All right, here's my strategy. The tactic is I'm going to email them and call them and so on. The process, this is how I'm going to do that. And here are the tools that I need in order to achieve it. So again, these are the 4 building blocks of implementing your systems. All right, just to put this in a different frame of reference. As real estate investors, this is typically the stages of our business, right? So we're generating leads. We have to manage those leads after they're generated. How do we structure our deals, right? In order to make offers, all that fun stuff. All right. How do we make the offers? How do we negotiate with our sellers? Cool. They've accepted the contract. What happens then? And then what's the disposition process look like? All right. So if we start filling these things in, but if you look at this, these are all blank, but it's like, okay, so you can need a system and repeatable process in each one of these buckets. Otherwise, we end up like this. So we're standing there and say, okay, well, hey, there's my payday on the other side. That's where I'm looking to get to. Well, we build a bridge halfway there because we started marketing and going down this path. It didn't work and give us the immediate results that we were hoping for. So we just stopped, and now we started trying to do something else that's going to get us over there. Well, that didn't work. So after, eventually we sit there and we've got all these half-built bridges and we're still not able to get to their side. Don't quit too early. There is a process. So again, the good news is we've got systems in place for all of those, and I'm going to let you copy all that. All right. So one of the first processes that we talk about, if you heard me speak at any point last year, on any other webinars, you probably heard me talk about the perfect follow-up system. This is 90% of the time the easiest system that we can copy and implement in somebody's business that will immediately have an impact to help them follow up with their leads, basically get more at bats and be able to make more offers, because just because the phone rang today doesn't mean they're ready for an offer right now. Sometimes it's 6 months or 12 months or 2 years down the road. And what is a system look like? So we've got a perfect follow-up system. That's typically the area that most investors struggle with from a system standpoint. All right. So here's a perfect follow-up system. For example, this is what the buckets look like. We dump leads in, we've got holes. Those leads just fall out because we don't follow up with them correctly. So again, I've got a copy and paste system. I'll show you how to do that, but this is what this looks like. We're over here, the lead comes in, it goes through. Are we able to track? So our system can we track what marketing they came from, segment our database correctly? Did it forward to my cell phone? Do we have them calling a bunch of different numbers? What does the process look like, right? So we have a system that you can step into, you plug it, and it basically does all of this for you. This is the stuff that you can quickly copy, repeat. When a lead calls in, 2% of the time are ready to sell. 98% they're not ready. So we have to follow up with them. What do we do when they're not ready? All right, just to kind of give you an idea. Again, 2% are ready now. The rest of them require follow-up. About 50% of all of our incoming leads will sell their property in about 2 years. So not all of them, but about half will sell that property in 2 years. 28% will sell in 6 months. 10% will sell in 6 to 12 months, and another 12% will sell in 12 months or more. But the takeaway is 42% will not even engage or be ready for an offer until 6 months or longer down the road when they're ready. All right. So just to kind of put it in different perspectives, is the seller ready for an offer? Cool. 2% of the time. Yep. We present it, run the numbers, go down the path, but 98% of the time we need to put them into a follow-up campaign. After we do that, what happens, right? So the system that we have that you can step into will automatically follow up and nurture. And about half of those will sell their property in 2 years. So half of that 98 is 49. And that's how the process works. But if we don't have a system in place, this 49 that's kicking out over the next 2 years, most of us and our peers don't have a system that is bulletproof to follow up with and keep them engaged until the timing is better. So instead of focusing on the 2 that are ready now, if we could plug a system in and have 49 more opportunities over the next 2 years, that's pretty powerful stuff, right? So when we look at really exponentially growing, this is what I'm talking about. And this is one system that you can step into and plug that particular hole here, right? So these are the things that you can copy. All right, Andy Werner, if you, he's actually friends with Anish as well. A lot of, Anish knows everybody, but he's this guy here has done thousands and thousands of wholesale. Actually, he did 1,000 wholesale deals in 1 year down in Phoenix, which is a stupid competitive market. But 70% of our deals come from automated follow-up with our Black Book. So if you think about the volume that he does, 70% of his deals are coming from automated follow-up. Marcy Martinez. So, the theme here is if you get the right system in place after it's defined and proven, and you just put a person there to manage it, you're going to get deals. And, when Warren says you're going to work till you die if you can't make money in your sleep, right? Well, here's Marcy. So this was a lead that had come in. This is a longtime user of ours, but automated follow-up for almost 2 years. She failed the lead a few times, but the REI Black Book automation kept up with it. So they came back on 131, put under contract, and then closed and made a $35,000 assignment fee on a deal that, frankly, she dropped the ball on multiple times. And you can see the automated text that was being sent out to for that deal. And here's the bottom of her HUD statement. Andy Wright, I mentioned him earlier. They sent out 650 mailers in a direct mail campaign. Hit them with their ringless voicemail or text every month or two for 15 months. The guy eventually called us from that campaign in July 2020, and they wholetailed that one and made $63,000. So the stuff works. These are deals that they literally have forgotten about, wasn't even on their radar. James Grenier, had a task to follow up 12 months later. Now it's back on the table. So, it's these automated deals that we don't even remember. It's not on our radar, but the system is in place and the business can continue to run. And this is just one example of one piece of a system that we can put into our investing business to really drive those results. All right. Now we have more at bats. So this is kind of what basically before REI Black Books, you'd have been on notebook number 12, 10 pages down, lost forever. So again, instead of trying to manually process notepads and sticky notes and hopeful reminders, that's not a system. That's not a process, right? So you got to systematize what we do. All right. You'll have more at bats. So if I have followed up with people, well, we're going to get more at bats to make more offers and get a possibility for more additional deals, right? So we have a perfect offer system. So we've followed up with our leads. Now we've got a system on how we make our offers and how do we structure those offers with the sellers? How do we deliver them to them? So here we've got a part of REI Black Book that will create the offer letters for you. Here's your cash offer. Here's seller financing, so on. You can pick different strategies, but we've got a system on how you can make offers. here it is, part of that automation. But, more options, more deals, do them quicker. You can automate the process. And when you submit an offer, well, now how about implementing automated text and automated systems on the back end to make sure that those sellers don't go cold and don't ghost us and they actually stay engaged. All right. We make a bunch of offers. They don't always say yes. So when they say no, what happens? So we actually have a system that we call the rejection recovery system. Again, these are all different systems that we put together based on each role and task in our business. But Darren, longtime investor, but he got really clear after he was getting told no all the time, but he reached out. We helped create a process with him to save his offers that was told no. So in 1 year, he closed 37 extra deals, not deals, extra deals after he was told no, using this automated rejection recovery system that we help build and implement. And now we've got a plug and play option for that. So again, all of these, whether it's following up, the appointment system, the offer system, these are all individual systems inside of your business that you can just plug people in to help manage once you get to that point, or automate it. But getting crystal clear on those systems is absolutely huge. So for those of you who would like a copy of the Perfect Follow-Up System downloads, these are all the text campaigns, email scripts, templates, the process maps on all these deals that I just told you where people forgot about them. They didn't even have them on their radar, and then they just email or text back randomly later. If you text BPM to 786-751-7926, that will text you back a link and you can download that entire Perfect Follow-Up System. So if you don't have REI Black Book, you can implement that into your business. You can, use your own system and tools in order to do that, but we're going to give you everything, timing, everything that you would need to basically put in a perfect follow-up system into your investing business. So again, BPM to 786-751-7926. All right. I want to come through and just kind of, for those of you who haven't seen REI Black Book before, I'll kind of run through and show you some screenshots of what the platform looks like. In the past, I've always done like live demos, and I realized the world of Zoom has taught me don't ever rely on internet connections and screen sharing. So I've just taken some screenshots here, but I mentioned we're a CRM, a contact management system, but we do a lot more. So websites and landing pages, what's that online credibility looks like. If somebody goes to one of your websites, for example, this is my website. If somebody fills out their form, my system will automatically put them into my contact database. If I talk to them, they're qualified, yes or no. If they're not ready right now, they automatically go into my Perfect Follow-Up System. Once they are ready for that offer, cool. Now they go into my deal analysis program and process. Now I'm making offers. I put them through my offer system. If they say no, I put them into my rejection system. And once I go to dispose of it down the road, well, I've got a system for disposition as well. So sometimes it starts with a website. If somebody comes to our website, fills it out, these are push button templates ready to go. But you can have a website up and running in a matter of minutes with REI Black Book that will start the process and systematize when somebody finds you online. All right, our phone system. So those of you who texted in a second ago, that is part of our phone system. But you find a local number. I can even find them with vanity numbers, like this one had mom in it. But you can go through and find a local number for you. You can, each part of your system, you're going to have a different system in place for a probate list versus driving for dollars versus direct mail campaigns, right? So you're going to have different systems based on different strategies and tactics. Well, our phone system will allow you to forward to your cell phone, forward to an answering service. Maybe you just wanted to go to a personal greeting, so on and so forth, but you get to route calls accordingly. We've got push button things here to install this if part of you, if you're a part of REI Black Book, but you can see this, part of your process as you grow. Maybe you've got multiple acquisitions team members. Well, we can have simultaneous ring, for example, to where it rings my entire sales team. Whoever answers it first takes care of that lead, so on. But whatever system and process that you need to implement, we can build that in REI Black Book and make sure that your process is followed each and every time. Again, we're going to set the source. Where does it need to forward to? If I answered an inbound phone call, all right, now I've got a task in place for somebody, whether it's myself or somebody on my team, to review the notes and set next steps. If I didn't answer the phone call, all right, well, now it's going to a voicemail. All right, if it goes to voicemail, I want to get notified that I missed that phone call, right? I've got action needed, and my system will automatically text that person back, let them know, sorry, I missed your call. I see you left a message. I will call you back as soon as possible. Basically, don't go find somebody else. But this is part of my system that I know that seller is not going to go somewhere else. I'm going to keep him in my funnel. I'm going to follow up with them until the time's right. And these are the systems that you can copy and paste and put into your business. All right. If we do text and ringless voicemails, right? So those of you who texted in earlier, that's a keyword. But what happens when somebody goes to a website, when they call in, when they text into us? Once we know what that system needs to look like, well, now we can automate it. We use workflows. So, do I want, as part of my perfect follow-up system, for example, I'm going to send them automatic text and emails and ringless voicemails. I'm even going to have reminders for myself to pick up the phone and call these people myself. But as you can see, these are automated text messages. So, hey, Kevin here from REI Black Book. I tried calling you about your property. Do you have a few minutes to chat today? If nothing happens a day later, it's going to automatically send them this email. So that perfect follow-up system that you guys texted in for, and one of that particular system, all these emails, all the texts are written. You can literally plug this into your business today and solve that bucket. But these are just examples of the automated systems that you can copy, paste in, that will exponentially grow your business by just having a system that is repeatable each and every time in your business. All right. The contact relationship management. The other part of our system, like every single contact that comes in, whether I imported them, whether they called me, went to my, texted me, went to a website, etc. No matter what, I capture them and I know exactly where they came from each and every time. If I wonder if they looked at my email, for example, if I want to go back and listen to a phone call from somebody that happened 9 months ago, my system allows me to even track when they open the email. So you'll see here, this guy opened emails at 8:45 at night, again at 12:45 or 12:54 a.m. when he clicked on the links, all that. So basically, we have a robust contact management system to make sure that no matter what, stuff doesn't fall through the cracks. If I haven't talked to somebody personally in a year, I can hop right here, find out exactly what my communication's been, and pick up right where I left off last time. Leads aren't falling through the cracks. So again, I can segment my list by buyers, etc. It's all about keeping your data in one place. We can send text blasts out to them. We can send ringless voicemail blast. I can trigger automated follow-up campaigns. So maybe I have a list of 1,000 people that have called me or texted in to one of my marketing campaigns, but I didn't follow up with them. Well, now I can select them all and put them into my automated follow-up campaigns with a couple pushes of a button here. And that is a system that's in place. All right, here's our deal system, our property pipeline. How do we run our numbers? How do we, a new lead comes in, here's my lead sheet, here's all the questions that I want to ask, and I want to keep that associated with the contact and the property in our database. What type of repairs does the property have? Comps, right? We'll give you comps and give you the owner's name and mailing address and all that fun stuff. Well, you can add and slice data, add and remove comps if you need it here. So we give you some insight as far as what those ARVs are, and we'll even help you run numbers on it. How am I going to acquire this property? I'm going to use this for a rental, for example. How am I going to finance it? What's my expenses and income? How long will I hang on to it? And I can look at cash flow reports and my operating expenses, executive financial summaries and things like that. But these are the systems and tools to effectively run a real estate business and get your numbers right, make better offers. all that fun stuff, right? So again, we make offers, we followed up with them, we've systematically ran them through all of our systems, and now I need to sell this property. I need to get paid, right? This is the fun part. But we have a rocket, we call it the rocket disposition system, but how can I automate and systematize when I need to sell a property, whether it's to cash buyers, if I'm going to rent this, etc. But we have an entire system that will help you market your properties. So for example, I can log into this house, I can press one button and publish a website. We've got a free domain. So now I can set this up to text my cash buyers list, or push a button and have this thing posted on my rental property website, etc. But super easy to market your property, get it, email it out, text blast it out to your list, post it on your websites, etc. We can even syndicate this out to third-party sites to get extra eyeballs on everything here for you. But the idea, and here's just one of the websites. So a single property website, we give you unlimited property websites. But if I wanted to get this out to my cash buyers list, I just pick what type of template I want. After I select it, here it is. There's pictures, there's cash flow reports if I want them, videos, etc. Whatever I want to set up on this website, I can do so. But all right, that was just a real quick run through of kind of all the things that REI Black Book as a platform, as a tool can do. There's other stuff that I didn't talk about, but I just kind of wanted to detail the systems part of running a real estate business can be copied. We've got easy button ways to copy those particular systems, but once we have the vision in place, the people, and now our systems can be copied, so that way they manage, they're consistent throughout, people come and go, and we're still working towards the life that we want to live, regardless of trying to manually tackle all of this. So, all right, again, this is typically what we experience. So leads come through, and if we don't have our systems in place, well, some of our appointments are going to fall off because we dropped the ball, stuff falls through the cracks. Some of our offers aren't going to get made, or they're not going to get accepted. And we're going to do fewer deals, which is thumbs down. All right. If we actually implement the proper systems in place, all right, so our leads come in. Well, now we have a perfect follow-up system. All right. Now we have a perfect offer system to help generate and compare different offers and send them a letter. All right. If they say no, I've got a system that will recover my rejected offers. All right. And that's going to get us more deals, right? It kind of makes sense. All right. So now we've got guardrails and stuff not falling out the side. Let's step this up one more notch. All right. This is part of the vision systems people framework that we teach here, but we call it growth stacking. And not to get too complicated here, but as you can see, I've got 4 different buckets here. So what we teach is get really dialed in on your first marketing strategy. We'll call it direct mail in this example, but pay-per-click, TV ads, and radio ads. Maybe, so over the next 12 months of our plan that we're putting together, I'm going to start with direct mail, and I'm not going to be a monkey. So if my direct mail doesn't work in a month or 2, that's okay. Those systems are proven. We just have to stick with them long enough and refine a little bit as needed. But so as we go through, we've implemented 4 different marketing structures. So we generate 100 leads, 2% are ready now. The other 98 come over here. Again, those 49, about half of those will come out over the next 2 years and actually sell their property. So that's 49 times 24 months. All right. And if we times that by 4 marketing strategies, direct mail, TV, radio, you fill in the blank there, but that's how we do growth stacking. So, by the end of that 24 months, that's how many sellers. And by the way, I'm not saying that everybody on this needs to have 4 marketing strategies and that they need to talk to 4,700 sellers and have that many at bats over the next 2 years. Maybe you only need to generate 50 leads a month because you want 2 deals a month, so on and so forth. But whatever your vision is, this is what goes into the level of detail as to, all right, here's your detailed plan. Here's the systems and tools that you're going to need in order to implement. Here's the people that needs to manage those systems. And that's how it all gets tied back to your vision. But this is just one example of what we need to do here. So again, the growth stacking model, We still have the perfect follow-up system. We still have the perfect offer system. If we're doing additional things, having these systems in place, we're going to do even more deals versus just the 2 deals from the people who are ready today, right? So that's kind of what I'm talking about. All right, so I'm going really fast for this. I get super excited, so I know I'm talking fast and furious here, but so who's excited? Who sees the possibilities, and who needs a step-by-step blueprint? So there's a lot of things that kind of come through, a lot of things that get attached to this with, just within systems. It's like, okay, well, we have our management systems. What money systems do we have? What marketing systems do we need? So this framework is extremely robust, and we go through and get really detailed. Anybody feel like this right now? You're not alone, I promise. I've been here before, and I still have moments of this, just so you know. I'm not completely exempt to this, but the takeaway is dream first, and then comes a struggle, and then there's victory. That's the normal thought process. But the problem is, most of us, we give up during the struggle. We try, it gets uncomfortable. We don't get our immediate results that we were hoping for, and say, oh, this didn't work. We turn around and we go back. And we might be really close, but we'll never know because we quit. So how do we stop that? All right. So again, whatever those roadblocks are, if it's time, if it's resources, all of these come together, but how can you truly get to the success? And by success, I do not mean money, that you deserve. And what can you plug and play? And, your time obviously is a part of this, but the easy button. So as we go through the easy button, the perfect follow-up system, like I said, if you text in, you've got that, but I've got a free way. I'm not going to ask you for any money right now, but we have a perfect follow-up system. Those of you who have been around long enough, probably some of you might have this, but all those automated campaigns that can get literally downloaded and installed in your CRM in your platform today to solve your follow-up issue. That's normally a $1,500 workshop, and with the campaigns plug and play, I'm going to show you how to get all of that for absolutely free today. All right. So the perfect offer system, all your campaigns and scripts, what do you need to basically get more of your appointments into accepted offers? How can you make different offers, and how do you present the offer letter to get a higher closing percentage, different structures, et cetera? And how can you automate the follow-up on the offers? All right. Even if you make a good offer, they say no. What do we do then? So that system that Darren used to get 37 extra deals, we're going to give you the entire campaigns, all those automated campaigns, what exactly the letter looks like. You can step into that system. All right. The Rocket disposition system. How do you sell the properties? We've got a local guy that we modeled this on that sold actually last year over 300 wholesale deals using our Black Book. And he's got that automated. He's got a couple of people that manage it, but that system is identified and in place to allow them to sell 300 properties in just over the last year here, but all the way through that full system. That's 1,500. So motivated seller guide, right? Some people was like, well, I don't even know how to generate leads. That's okay. Well, we've got a system and some help with there. It's a 99-page book, and don't worry, there's going to be homework. I will give you a test at the end. I'm just teasing. I'm not a detail guy, but we will also give you this 99-page book as part of this as well. So if you're interested in running pay-per-click ads or Facebook ads or direct mail or driving for dollars, you fill in the blank. We've got a detailed sheet showing what the cost is, what the process, what tools you need, what the expectation should be for your people if it's not you doing it yourself, but all the way through so that you can find your niche and start that growth stacking to where you can get dialed in on more than one marketing channel. Not to get sidetracked, but for those of us that have went all in on cold texting or cold calling in the last several years in our business, chances are, if you haven't already had a shift in how that system is working in your business, you're about to get slapped. All the texting and the TCPA laws and compliance changes. And I did a webinar last year and we detailed through some of that, but the carrier, like, it's getting really close now. The carriers are getting that technology in. But if we as business owners only use cold texting to generate our leads, well, we basically have to build another business right now and recreate an entire new marketing system. That's why we want to grow stack and have multiple ways to generate leads. But this will detail exactly what goes into each different strategy, what's needed, all that. So, all right, I'm going to give everybody a 14-day free trial of our AI Black Book. That way you can log in and be able to download the perfect follow-up system, the perfect offer system, the rejection system, build websites, get a full rundown of everything that we talked about. But one other thing that's even more important than this and why I want to do this, but again, websites, all the other stuff, the system part of things, we've got that easy and it's plug and play. But as we're generating leads, here's our motivated seller guide. Our lead management, here's our websites and our phone system and all those different things. And here's the system associated. Deal structuring. All right, here's our offer system. All right, here's our rejected system when it's accepted, right? And we need to now prepare to close and disposition the property. All of those systems, I'm going to give everybody that for free. You have access to it. You can plug them into your business. That's the easy part. It's about $6,000 worth of stuff. We've already solved it. You get it. No big deal. All right. And like I said, for zero. But I said earlier, the number one problem is that we walk into this, we don't have vision, we don't have the right people in place, and we don't know how to go about it. So the other thing that we're doing is I'm giving you the Vision Systems People Workshop. We are actually doing a live workshop next week. So anybody who wants to sign up for a free trial, we are going to virtually live stream this. It's about a 3 or 4 hour deep dive into vision, people, and we're going to touch on the systems part too and how they attach, but we're going to go through an actual exercise to help you establish your personal vision, your business vision, how to create your mission, values, purpose, what people, how do you hire, what your accountability chart looks like, all the things that go into the people aspect and finding your unique genius zone and how they all come together. We're doing a workshop on all of this that will give you worksheets and learn and go through this process. Super powerful stuff. And again, that's next week. A half-day deep dive. Damon is teaching that personally, so don't miss out on that. It will be recorded as well, but it's a little bit more powerful when it is live. The second thing that I want to talk about is, in addition to that live workshop, I told you we've been teaching this for 6 or 7 years now for Robert Kiyosaki's group. So we just did a absolute crazy deep dive 2-day workshop into setting your vision, all the peoples, all the handouts. So we went through and there's actually 16 modules and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I don't have time for this. You don't have time not to do this, honestly. So introduction to the business growth workshop, the operating system, how do you build a vision-based business, your core focus, all these are all modules. And this is on-demand training with all the worksheets and everything else. So you don't have to wait till next week to dive into this and start laying your framework and getting this. But this is a workshop that we used to sell for $6,000 to Robert's group. We normally sell this for $2,000 ourselves. You get this for free just by signing up for a free trial here. So again, the on-demand business growth vision building workshop with all the modules, our live workshop that we're doing next week that Damon's personally teaching, all these systems that I talked about earlier that you can plug and play into our AI Black Book, all of that you get for free. I won't make you listen to Gauntlet here. I had a couple of testimonials. I'm running out of time here, but just to kind of run this thing through again, the perfect follow-up system, offer system, recovery system, all of these plug and play aspects to implement the tools in your business. But the other big bonuses that I really, really want to focus on, because this is where most of us fail, frankly. We failed this for a long time, and it's transformed our lives at our AI Black Book until we implemented vision, went through the exercise. Frankly, we had a lot of people on the bus that shouldn't have been here and went through that painful exercise, but we went through. So anyway, the 2-day on demand, the live workshop next week, free trial, all these plug and play systems. If you already have REI Black Book and you're on this call, you're probably thinking, can I have this too? Yes, you can. I will never tell you no. So just shoot me an email at kevin@REI Black Book, and I'll make sure that you get all of this added to your account right away. But if you want this and want to go through, reiblackbook.com/BPM, Again, reiblackbook.com/BPM, and you will get all of this that is listed. I want to stop talking now. How many questions?
Oh, seriously, I have been thinking of questions this entire time, and each and every one, you just nail it. Like,
Okay, cool.
my biggest thing, which I'm sure a lot of people on here probably think the same, is the vision portion. Like, I was going to be asking how you would suggest those that are just having difficulty getting that clarity. They want to do something different, and just I know that a lot of people that come to me wanting to meet with Anish, they just want to get their business to the next level. So that was going to be my question, but this workshop looks insane.
Yeah, this is a short workshop, and I know Anish is extremely well versed in vision and building his personal plan around his business plan. I mean, that's why he's where he's at today. So a lot of this is here to complement what Anish is doing already as a group, but we had some on-demand stuff and some of the systems part to plug and play here. So I'm glad. Hopefully, I didn't throw too much out here, but
It was
Anish
awesome.
could probably teach this workshop for us as well.
He could, but honestly, this was such a great presentation. You hit every single aspect of REI Black Book. I know because we're actually using it internally at the office. So that was just incredible. I know all the capabilities that REI Black Book has. I'm still, working my way to get those, working the best for me, because that's the best part about it. It can be customized to what we need in almost every way. It's very detailed. But yeah, guys, we're taking questions. Put them in the Q&A section down below. I have a question from Latanya, one of our students that just rolled in. She is asking, how do you integrate a third-party dialer with REI Black Book, for example, Call Tools? Go ahead.
Yeah, we've got a support team here that'll help you connect those dots. We've got people integrating dialers all the time. That's not a problem. So we actually have a step-by-step instruction on how to do it yourself if you'd like, or if you would rather pay a bunch of tech nerds to do it at a couple $100, and our team can actually like set up the integration with Zapier, all that stuff for you. If you're techie, it'd take you a couple hours to do yourself, but we do it all the time. No big deal.
Absolutely. Well, guys, I've been putting all these links in the chat for you, reiblackbook.com/BPM. Please go ahead and look at all that stuff. He has amazing demos on there, plethora of demos. You can contact them if you need more information. Always let them know you're coming from BPM. Use this BPM link that we put in there so you can get that special offer. If you want to reach out to Kevin, go ahead, kevin@reiblackbook.com.
And I'll throw this out here too. So last week, I actually did a radio show and a couple of other webinars with some national people. This same program, I sold something very, very similar, and there was about a $2,000 price tag on that. So if there's anybody in your group too that basically signed up and paid and signed up for REI Black Book in the last couple of weeks and paid $2,000, if you did, send me a note. I will actually refund your $2,000 and let you go through Anish's thing. So we don't do this for everybody else, but Anish is such good friends with Damon that this truly is something special for you guys. So if you did do it last week, like I said, just send me a note. I will actually refund that $19.95 that you paid last week. So
thank you so much, Kevin. We are so blessed. We're so grateful to have had you today. Again, last time, if you guys forgot that text number, or if you haven't pressed the link, we'll go ahead and send that to you in a thank you email after the webinar. So look out for a thank you email from us. Let me think. What else did I forget? Alexa?
I think you hit everything. Just we have a lot of webinars coming up. So again, stay tuned for that. You can always go to our website, bpmria.com, and go to the upcoming events tab, and you'll be able to attend our next webinars.
Absolutely. And if you missed any past webinars with Kevin, He's talked to us about numerous things that are super helpful, text compliance, the follow-up system, all this really good stuff. So you can check out our YouTube channel. Again, it'll be in the thank you email. I threw it in the chat as well. Go ahead and watch those previous webinars we had with Kevin. He's awesome. As you can see, he's a great presenter, but he also just answers all your questions like off the bat. So I really
thank you.
happy
And
he's here.
there was a comment, if you don't mind, if I can address that in the chat
Please,
for a moment. Yeah, thank you. And Eric, thanks for your comment. So he said, if it's free, why am I asking for a credit card? So with our system, people are allowed to send text messages by domain. Like there's a bunch of things that our platform does. So in order for us to cover ourselves, if you wanted to go out there and send like 2 million text messages or buy a bunch of different domains and things like that, that is our way to basically make sure that you have to pay as you go with that. But after the 14 days, just so we're clear, our software is $197 a month. That gives you 10 websites, 10 phone numbers, the text platform, everything that I told you earlier, and all the systems and everything else in one place. So it's $197 a month. If you decide to stick around after that 14 days, it would be $197 a month. There's no contracts or anything like that. So I apologize for not covering that, Eric. Thank you for the reminder on that. But yeah, it's free for 2 weeks. Test drive it. You can access all the trainings and the workshops and all that stuff like I mentioned earlier. If you decide to keep it past the 14 days, it's $197 a month. Sorry for not being clear on that earlier.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kevin. Well, speak now, forever hold your peace, everybody. All right. Well, Kevin, you answered so many questions that I had. I'm so grateful you were here today. Just a great way to start this month, this year. I'm just so happy. So everyone,
thank you.
You look at the thank you email after the event. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next week on Zoom on Wednesday. Thank you, everybody.
See ya. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.